Hello, and welcome back to the Coin Curator. Today, we're diving into a coin that almost every American has heard of, and many have probably held in their hands at some point, the Kennedy half dollar. Specifically, we're talking about the 1974 Kennedy half dollar now. You might be thinking, 1974? That's not old. I see these all the time. And you'd be right. But the question we're answering today is, what is the circulated value of this common-day coin? The answer is a bit more fascinating and maybe a little more disappointing than you might hope. We're going to break down exactly what to look for, why most are worth only face value, and the one single major error that can turn this 50-cent piece into a hundreds of dollars treasure. So, let's get started. First, a little bit of context. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 as a memorial to the assassinated President John F. Kennedy. It was an instant hit, and people hoarded them like crazy. From 1965 to 1970, the mint made them out of a copper-nickel-clad composition because the original 90% silver was just too expensive. Now, enter 1974. This was an interesting year. The U.S. Mint was producing these coins in massive numbers, but the public still wasn't really using them. Vending machines didn't take them, and cash registers didn't have a slot for them. So despite millions being made, they mostly sat in bank vaults. Look at those numbers. Over 200 million from Philadelphia and another 79 million from Denver. To put that in perspective, that's a total of over 280 million coins. This is why, when you find a 1974 half dollar in circulation today, it's almost certainly not rare.so. Let's talk about the coin you're most likely to find. This is a standard, circulated 1974 P half dollar. It's got some bag marks. It's been in and out of pockets and cash drawers for decades. For a coin like this in a grade we call good or very fine, the honest truth, answer you were looking for. But it's the truth. Because the mintage was so high and public demand for using them was so low, there's a massive supply of these coins out there. You could go to any bank and probably get a whole roll of them for face value. So, if you have a regular war 1974 half dollar, enjoy it as a piece of history, but don't plan your retirement around it. Now, that's the story for circulated coins. But what if you have a coin that looks like it just came from mint? A coin that's never been spent, with a brilliant luster and no scratches or wear? This is a different story. Because while millions were made, most people didn't save them in this condition. An uncirculated coin, straight from a mint set or an original bankroll, has a small premium. For a brilliant uncirculated 1974 P or 1974 D, you're looking at a value between $1 and $3. Maybe up to $5 for one that is absolutely gem quality with fantastic eye appeal. It's not a fortune, but it's a nice little premium over face value. The D-Mint Mark from Denver is a bit scarcer in top grades, so it might command a slight premium over the P-Mint. Alright, now for the part you've been waiting for. The reason you should really be checking every single 1974 half dollar you find. We're talking about the king of the 1974 Kennedy halves. The 1974 D-double die obverse 8 double die error happens when the Mint Hub imprints the design onto the coin die more than once, and it's misaligned between impressions. This creates a distinct doubling effect on every coin struck by that faulty die on a 1974 DDDO. Look for clear, visible doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust." You'll also see it on the date and around Kennedy's bust. This is not machine doubling, which is flat and shelf-like. This is true, raised, separated, looking at several $100s. This is the needle in the haystack. This is what you're hoping for. So, how do you check your coins? First, you need a good light and a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Start by looking at the "In God We Trust." On a normal coin, the letters are sharp and singular. On the double die, you'll see a distinct shadow or a second, slightly offset set of letters. Compare your coin to known photos online. Be patient and be critical. Your average war 1974 Kennedy half dollar is a 50-cent piece. A shiny, uncirculated one is worth a few bucks. But if you find that 1 in a million 1974 D with a clear doubling on the obverse, you've hit a mini jackpot. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar is a perfect example of how in numismatics, context is everything. It's a common coin, but it holds a lesson in mintage, condition, and the thrilling hunt for errors. So, go check your coin jars, ask your relatives, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find that double die. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Coin Curator for more content like this. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a 1974 half dollar or any other interesting error coins. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting!